everybody. I know it takes a couple of minutes, so I'm going to say hello again. My name is Zakia Ringgold, and it looks like my camera did a little bit of a freeze. Hopefully we're okay. But we're going to be doing a very conditioning and cleansing bar of soap. This one, if you have very dry skin, this is not the recipe for you. But if you are looking for a recipe that will absolutely positively cleanse the skin without stripping it, this one is a wonderful one. And we will be using 4 oils and butters from Baraka Shea Butter. So this recipe calls for, let's pull up our handy dandy recipe. I see we have 15 of you that have joined in. I do apologize if the sound is a little bit wonky. We are still figuring out this new studio space. But this particular recipe is going to call for palm kernel oil, coconut oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, and olive oil. Now, I'm going to also show you how you can test out a fragrance just in case it does not work out before you commit an entire batch to it. Yeah, we are freezing. Hey there, how are you? So I do apologize, guys. We are getting a little bit of freezing, so I may restart this broadcast. Let me know if it just becomes a little bit too much. My Wi-Fi is acting up. So what we are using, again, from Baraka in particular, is the traditional coconut oil. We are also using the cosmetic grade cocoa butter. We're also using palm kernel oil. And last but not least, what would a Baraka recipe be without Baraka shea butter? So those are the 4 we're going to use, and then we're using our regular olive oil that we always use. Now, I have already measured everything out, but the recipe is in the description of this video. But I'll say it out loud just in case you can't see the description. It is palm kernel oil. We're going to be using 68 grams. Coconut oil, we're going to be using 136 grams. Shea butter, 68 grams. Cocoa butter, 102 grams. And then olive oil at 306. I see a few of you are checking in. Chantel, is that you? It is. She's saying congrats on the new space. Guys, I have you over here. We had to do a little bit of changing around. Herbal Root Woman, you have come back for more. Very good to see you. All right. So what we're going to do is change the camera so you're able to see directly into the pot. But these are the 4 oils and butters. And then, of course, you want to add your olive oil to it. Whenever you're making soap, you do want to have your space kind of prepared and all of your ingredients laid out before you get started with the soap making process. That is very important. Hello, Deborah. I am so happy for several reasons. I am seeing a lot of you from Soap Nation tune in. A lot of you that have been around for quite a few years with me with live streaming. And I know it's been a while since we have streamed. So seeing you all come back means the world to me. I may go ahead and nuke. Here, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so you can see all of the ingredients laid out. So I have measured out the coconut oil. Hey there, Joseph. We also have the olive oil right here. And then because we're using so much cocoa butter, it is in 2 separate little containers. We are going to, let me see if you can see those. Nope. I'm hiding it. Put her right there. Now, cocoa butter, like I mentioned on another broadcast, has a very high melting point. It takes a bit to get that to melt. We were going to do the heat transfer method, but I'm not sure that my lye water is hot enough to melt it down. So I may go ahead and put it in the microwave. Hey, hey, Jetty. Hi, Joseph. Let me say hello to you folks there. Hello. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Feels kind of weird. No Periscope. Yes, Chantel. Very much so. In case you guys don't know, I got started by live streaming my hobby of soap making in 2015. And from there, I decided to just continue live streaming and making the products. And we built a really, really interesting group of folks. We also have Desi. Hello there. You're new. Welcome to the broadcast. You can't see my welcome dance, but it's happening. I'll give you the snaps. Snap, snap. Snap, snap. It's happening. And then we also have Miss Cleo checking in. Hello, Miss Cleo, the melt and pour diva. But don't believe it's melt and pour, guys. I mean, it melts and it pours, but it's the most transparent soap you have ever seen made from scratch. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So we have our ingredients. And there's Paige coming over. Hello, my love. Very good to see you. Are you coming to say hello? Well, the camera is down here. They're not going to see you, but I can flip it so Paige can say hi. Probably got to stand on there because they might not be able to see you. There's Paige. Hi. Hello. So, in case you guys don't know, it's right there. It's kind of a little bit like deja vu because when we were streaming in our dining room, Paige used to be under the table. Now we have this counter, which is a little bit higher, so you do get a little bit more of the seeing Paige grow up behind the camera. I'm 7. What did I say? Did I not say 7? Oh, my bad. Hello, Paige. How much coconut oil? Okay, I will go back over the recipe one more again in case you are just joining. You can have the iPad now. I have the camera. All right. So for the coconut oil, we are using 136 grams. It should also be in the description of this video for the recipe. See, you give them the devices and they no longer stay next to you. The only thing that I left out was the measuring of the palm kernel oil because that's the only one that I have not opened yet. Now, I showed you all bags that were completely sealed. That's because I have a ton of Baraka butters and oils, so I pre-measured it. But the one that I did not have already opened was the palm kernel oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the hard oils and butters and I'm going to pour them. Here, I'll switch you guys over again. I'm going to pour them all into one container here. So first we have the cocoa butter. And remember, for the cocoa butter, we needed 102 grams. Under that, we have the coconut oil, which is 136 grams. To that, we're going to add our Shea butter. So let's grab a spatula in case it just doesn't want to all come out at one time. Just like that. And we're going to get that in the microwave while we go ahead and measure out the palm kernel oil. Now, we're using a lot of cleansing oils and butters in here. So because of that, we do have a higher percentage of olive oil so that it's not so drying. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Hello, John. Hello, Shelba. All of you are here. It's a great day. I'm going to go ahead and take this and put it in the microwave. If you have not already said hello, now would be the opportune time to do so. And if you have said hello, where are you watching from? I'm going to put this in the microwave. You could put it over a double boiler, but you know, we don't have to be that fancy with it. And I'm also going to grab the #1 tool of soap makers, which is the stick blender. You've got to have a stick. Well, you don't have to have a stick blender. Back in my day, not my day, but the good old days, people would stir with a spatula. But we don't have to do that. I'm sorry it's so close there, but my overhead camera, the battery died. We're improvising to make sure that you guys get this recipe today. And so whenever, let me switch you really quickly. Whenever you are making your own soap from scratch, safety is paramount. We are using sodium hydroxide. Hello, Zanissa Sanders. And again, I do apologize. Our Wi-Fi is acting a little bit janky today. You want to have safety goggles. Safety goggles will protect your eyes in the event that there is any kind of splashing with the sodium hydroxide. A lot of people are nervous about using lye, and that's what sodium hydroxide is. But as long as you take the right precautions in terms of protecting your eyes, protecting your hands, you are in great shape. Normally you would have on long sleeves. That's when I have to give you my public service announcement to do as I say and not as you see me do, because what I am doing is I'm actually using shorter sleeves today. So while that is doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and measure out the palm kernel oil. And I'm just going to cut the bag open here. And for the palm kernel oil, our recipe only calls for 68 grams. And our microwave is also done. Done. That's 34. $77. We went over. Let me see if I can scrape a little bit out. How much did we say we needed? Who remembers that number? 68. All right, we're at 69. We're gonna make it enough. All right, now let's get our other oils that have melted, and we are going to go ahead and get this made. Looking good on YouTube. Well, that's fantastical. Thank you for running the bases, John. You are much appreciated. Let's grab our melted oils and butters here. They're semi-melted. We still have some chunks of the cocoa butter, but the heat of the lye solution should melt that down for us just fine. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get you over. There we go. So to this, I am going to go ahead and add our olive oil and our palm kernel oil. Inside of that container was our shea butter, coconut oil, and cocoa butter. And now we're just adding the remainder of the oils and butters for the recipe there. Okay. It's so weird. I haven't made soap live in a long time. I've been making everything else, but not the soap, which started it all off, which is interesting. All right, I'm going to plug our stick blender up, and we're going to go ahead and add in our lye solution. And you do want a container that is large enough to hold your mixture. Now, don't do like Zakia does and over mix the bejesus out of your recipe, because then you don't have as much time to work with it. So can you see that really smooth consistency that we have? I see a chunk that is in there. Somebody's calling me while I'm live. I'm going to go ahead and decline. No, we're live. I can't talk now. All right, so let's go ahead and get this mixed. Look at that creamy consistency. Oh, man. Now, honestly, you don't have to do anything else. You have actually made soap at this point. You got to pour it in a mold. But, of course, you may want it to smell good. You may want to have some color added to it. This is when you would do that because you have a very, very, what we call a light trace. This is really not even a trace. This is a really thin emulsification, but it will continue to saponify in the pot. So just like that, mixing up your oils and your butters, making sure that it's completely emulsified in your lye solution, that's what you need to do. Hopefully that's pretty clear. Now, I also said sometimes, if you've ever been on any of these broadcasts with me, when I go to add fragrance in, it misbehaves. And one thing that you can do is to do a small testing of the fragrance. I'm just going to pour not even a whole ounce there. And I'm going to take our fragrance, because I have not used this fragrance. Always get fragrances in these really little containers. Don't buy a really big container of fragrance, because sometimes they misbehave in your soup. So I'm going to pour just a little bit in there, just to kind of observe it for a few minutes to see how it responds. Is it going to cause any ricing, any seizing, any acceleration with the soup? And what you want to see is that your consistency does not quickly change over. And that's what this is not doing. And it smells amazing. This one is a juicy apricot scent. And I should have mentioned last week when we did our broadcast, we made a larger batch. And some of the feedback we got is, well, I don't want to make such a large batch. So this batch that we're doing is a 2-pound batch of soup. So this anybody can make. And I am satisfied with that fragrance. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull our bowl back over. We're going to add our mixture right back in there. And we're going to add the remainder of the fragrance. Now, how much fragrance you need is only going to be 1 ounce, because you only have 1 pound of oil. Typically, you would do 1 ounce per pound of oil that is in your soup recipe. So we're stirring it up. I do see that there was some coconut oil still left on the side there, but we can't do it now. We can't get it. Let me see, did I do 1 ounce? I think I got a little bit more I can use. That was a 2-ounce container there, guys. Smells heavenly. All right. So we've added our fragrance. The next thing that we want to do is add some kind of color or additive to it. This is where your creativity as a maker comes in. You get to decide what colors you want to have, what scents you want to have, what textures you want to have. All of that is completely up to you as the maker. So I'm going to just grab a color. I'm going to go with this Coral Choir here. I got this from a distributor here in Philadelphia, Marlene. Let's see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some and put it right into this container. Typically, again, you only need about 1 teaspoon per pound of oil. This is a mica colorant. I don't actually have, I'm eyeballing it, guys. That's not an actual one. Hello, Sylvia. It always corrects you and makes my name Zamia. I don't know what that's about. It just wants to do it. And now we're going to add our soap to that to give us a really pretty color. We don't want a whole lot. We're just using it for, I call like a shadow swirl within our soap. Not enough color? Not enough color. But I do like the way it's coming out. And I probably have color stuck at the bottom. I swear, the moment I am not on live, nobody calls me, nobody texts me. The moment I click go live, we've got action. Everybody has something to say to me. I swear. All right, let me use a spatula just to make sure I am able to scrape up any colorant that is at the bottom. See that color? Now, that's not necessarily the color of an apricot, but that was the color I wanted. All right. So now you want to grab your mold. We have a very small 2-pound mold here. This is great for testing out a recipe if you would like to. Additionally, it allows you to not have to use so much of your oils when you are testing out. So now what we're going to do is simply pour our soap batter right in. And then I'm going to save just a little. And now I'm going to go, the higher that you lift the other one, the deeper it will go into the batch. So I'm going to go pretty high, about the width of the camera. Now, we need another spatula. There's never enough spatulas. Don't believe that. We've always got more spatulas. And now I'm going to do the same with this one. I want that to kind of go in. And look, this recipe is behaving beautifully. It didn't go any faster. It's completely emulsified, and it will saponify beautifully. Let's get the rest here. And we want this to kind of stay on the top. So we're going a little lower with our pour. Now I'm going to tap it just so if we have any air bubbles, they are captured. Now, this is where you get to have your inner artist or non-existing art. It's frozen. No! What about now? Are we still frozen, Cleo? It's saying I'm live. Well, hopefully it'll record, and if it is frozen, we'll bring it back again. All right, so we're going to take our skewer here. Yes, I missed it. Darn it. So what we were doing is we were just pouring. No, we're good. We were just pouring, and what we did was we kept it at a lower. We didn't pour from so high. We poured from very, very close. Lane, I think you will like this one. You asked for some orange. This is orange. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our skewer here, and then you can just simply drag back and forth. And if you want, you can go the opposite way. And that's all it takes. That is all it takes. The only thing that you need to do at this point, we do like to spray the top with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. What that does, especially if you're somebody, and I can bring your own back. Hold on, I'll bring you back. What's the scent? Well, this scent here is not orange, so I lied. This one is juicy apricot, so it's not exactly what we want, Carol Ann. But the color is orange. So if you are just joining, number one, I do apologize for some of the finickiness with the video. But what we were making is just a very simple 5-ingredient soap. And we showed you that it's a really simple process. We are at 23 minutes, and 20 of those were probably me running my yappa, because that's what we like to do. What is the curing time? So the curing time is that period after we take it out of the mold where we allow any of the excess water to evaporate. We did a little bit of a water discount, and what that means is we used less water than the recipe called for, so that we have a shorter curing time. Generally with soap making, you have a 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 7 or 8, depending on how soft your oils are and what your recipe is. But this one in particular shouldn't take longer than 4 weeks to cure. What's the alcohol though to it, please? Okay, so the alcohol, what it does is it helps to prevent soda ash from forming on the top. So generally there is moisture in the air. Saponification, it's really breaking down the fatty acids into a glycerol molecule. That is going to attract water to the top of your soap. So alcohol kind of creates like a barrier on the top so that you don't have that soda. We call it soda ash in the soaping industry, but it kind of just looks like a really thin white film. It is completely aesthetic. It does not hurt your soap. But sometimes when you're working really hard on those intricate designs and intricate swirls, you don't really want that to be an impact. And so some things, I think I saw someone say, and we are freezing a bit, I am so sorry. I think I saw someone say, do you cover it with plastic? The answer is I typically don't cover my recipes with plastic. What I have found when I do that, the plastic typically goes onto the top of the soap, and then when I take it off, I'm losing the top of it anyway. But you can, and some people even wrap it in a blanket, and that helps with the gelling process. Gelling just ensures that the temperature kind of goes all the way around the batch of soap, and it also gives you more vibrant colors if you have a lot of colors in your soap. Okay, good to know. Thanks. Absolutely love. Thank you, Tiana. We are still figuring it out. For 5 years, I live streamed in my dining room, so it was just a table. I now have complete 2 floors of soap making space, and I'm slowly finding that I can fill up every corner with just what I had in my house. I think that we will probably move this and replace it with the stainless steel table. I don't have enough of a work surface, and I kind of feel like I'm moving things around, but I do love what it is that we are doing and how things are going. So thank you all for joining. If you just came in, it's a really simple recipe. If you do give it a try, let us know. You can get the ingredients, particularly the Baraka ingredients, by going to barakasheabutter.com. And that is where we use the cocoa butter. We also use the palm kernel oil. And then the other 2 ingredients were the traditional virgin coconut oil as well as the Baraka shea butter. The only thing you can't get there is olive oil, but give them a minute. I'm sure it will land. Lots of love to you too. What? I missed the showstopper page. She gave us like a split second, but very similar to Nyla at her age. She's more interested in the devices than being on these devices with mom. She is definitely becoming more independent. You can get all of those ingredients at Baraka Shea Butter. This here will be on our website in about 2 weeks for pre-order. But I really enjoyed streaming with all of you. Be sure to try it. Try it, try it, try it. Nothing beats a failure but a try. And I hope you saw that it is very simple. It is very, very simple to do. Hello, Erica. How are you? Yay, says Lane. And Desi says, I will try it, but I have to buy all my accessories. I know. That's one of the hardest. Desiree, I'm hiding behind your picture. Here, I'll move this. That is one of the hardest things. Like, what are all the things that I need to get started? One thing is a stick blender. Like, that's a no-nonsense kind of thing. And you can get a stick blender pretty inexpensively. You can get a kitchen scale. I use the KD 8000 kitchen scale, and that's because it has a plug attached to it. The worst thing is if your batteries die right in the middle of you measuring your ingredients, you're going to be kicking yourself. So I use this one not only because it has a plug, but it also measures in grams and ounces, and it can go up to 17 pounds. Get yourself some spatulas. You can use typical things that you have around the house for a mold. You can go to the dollar store to get yourself some spatulas and some bowls. As a new soap maker, I do have an Amazon page, Zakia Ringgold. I can call me Jenny. Jenny Desi. I mean, goddess in English. Well, we love goddesses around here. I can call you Jenny. Got it. I do have an Amazon page, and it does have those things that you can get for getting started with the equipment. As new soap makers, you want to spend more time mastering your recipes, the process, and the technique. and not spending so much money on equipment. Because the more money you spend on equipment, the less money you have to play with various ingredients. Wishing you a good evening from Baltimore. Very good to have you. Thank you for coming in. No soap. We have plenty of soap. It's all on the website now. For all of you that are local to me, we are going to be having a launch, and it's going to be on November the 28th locally. So if you place an order between now and November the 28th, you can pick it up locally here in Philadelphia. If you are not, I know most viewers are not in Philadelphia, we will be shipping orders out next week for anyone who places an order. And anybody who orders between now and then does get a special offer, special gift on the website. Everything is on the website. Good, because I got a lot of stuff to buy on Amazon. Okay, good, because a lot of stuff is available on Amazon. My UPS guy says, what else do you have? Especially when my Baraka boxes were showing up. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Please let me know if you do post. We will be streaming every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. for live soap school. And all of you that are watching on hashtag Baraka Clan, thank you for tuning in. And all of you newbies, as well as seasoned Soap Nation members, it has been a true year and a half of oh my gosh. I am so excited to be back. Where we have more space, we're making more products, we're doing sugar scrubs, body oils, lotions, shampoo, conditioner, head to toe, you'll be able to get those products. Those are my off days. Yes. Oh yeah. Love seeing you too. Thank you all so much for being here. I will say good night for now, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. Bye everybody. Oh, I lost the finish button. There she is.